After the cat discovered he had 9 lives, he began to disregard the value of life. The first time, he flirted with a beauty at the bullfighting arena and was gored to death by a bull. The second time, he drank milk until he got drunk, boasting that he could drink endlessly, and ended up falling from a high tower to his death. The third time, he got drunk and challenged a cannon to see who was tougher, and was blown up by the cannon. The fourth time, he cheated at gambling and taunted the dogs. The fifth time, he had an allergic reaction to seafood. And the sixth time, he tried to show off his strength by challenging a strong man and was crushed by a dumbbell. He was even burned to ashes once, but woke up unscathed. Soon, he adopted a heroic persona, robbing the rich to help the poor, becoming a famous feline hero. Until one time, after robbing a wealthy man, the fireworks he set off angered a giant who was about to sleep, and the giant vented his anger on innocent people. Only the booted cat could handle the situation. Facing the giant monster, the feline hero wasn't afraid at all, stabbing the monster's claws with his sword, causing it to scream in pain.
Spanish Splinter!
After this, he used his special skill to cut the ropes. The stunned giant got entangled in his own weapon, and in the end, the giant bell knocked him down, perfectly ending the fight. The feline hero accepted everyone's praise and was about to give a speech when a giant bell fell from the sky and crushed him. When he woke up again, all his gear was gone, and a country veterinarian was giving him a full checkup.
Trust me, I run hot.
The doctor told him, because of your excessive squandering, you now only have 1 life left. He also suggested that the feline hero give up his reckless lifestyle and spend the rest of his life in a shelter. He was a renowned hero. How could he live as a pet cat? So he went to the tavern to drink milk and get drunk. Suddenly, a creepy whistling sound came, and out of nowhere, a wolf wearing a cloak appeared beside him. The feline hero thought he was just an ordinary bounty hunter and planned to fight him. But his usual proud speed and superb swordsmanship didn't work this time. The gray wolf's attacks overwhelmed the feline hero, each time bringing him closer to death. Facing the death-like pressure, the feline hero's fur stood on end, and he felt fear for the first time. This was his last life, so despite his usual cleanliness, he chose to escape through the disgusting sewer. The feline hero buried his once honorable clothes. Was this the end of a great hero? In the end, he chose to go to a cat lover's shelter, only to find that this was his true hell. Now, he could only hide in the cat lover's home, struggling to survive, living helplessly with other cats, using the litter box and being forced to eat cat food, consumed his last bit of dignity, making him resign to being a pet cat. His only friend in this situation was a small dog disguised as a cat to get food, until one day, he overheard the girl and the 3 bears from the Black Bear Mafia talking about the wish star, and hope rekindled in his heart. As long as he could get the 9 lives back through the wish star, he could become the great cat hero again. So he ordered the little dog to dig up the grave and put on the boots and clothes he had buried, making a comeback. That night, the feline hero went to the magician's house to steal the map to the wish star, which was an easy task for him. But just as he got it, he was kicked by a companion hiding in the box, who turned out to be his ex-girlfriend. As the 2 cats fought for the map, the Black Bear Mafia crashed through the window. At the same time, the magician was attracted by the commotion, and a chaotic fight ensued among the 4 parties. The feline hero and his ex-girlfriend grabbed a magic carpet and escaped outside, where the little dog was waiting with a carriage. As they were feeling triumphant, that creepy whistling sound came from the crowd again. The Puss in Boots was terrified and urged the little dog to run away quickly. They followed the map to the dark forest, and inside the barrier, it turned out to be a paradise. It turned out that the map to the wish star would transform into different paths based on the person's desires. When the Puss in Boots touched the map, the paradise collapsed and turned into a field of lava. His ex-girlfriend did the same. When she put her hand on the map, the sea of fire disappeared and turned into a path full of poison as a road to redemption. It wasn't until the little dog, who had been following them, touched the map that all the difficult paths disappeared and turned into a fairy tale world. So, the little dog naturally took the map and became the navigational guide. At this moment, the persistent gray wolf appeared again. The Puss in Boots first stood on end, and he was so scared that he abandoned the map and ran away. The approaching girl snatched the map, and when she touched it, she also entered an alternate dimension. There was a small wooden house where the girl saw warm scenes of the bear family taking her in, when she was abandoned in the forest as a child. The bear family was sound asleep in their happy memories, and the Puss in Boots sneaked in and stole the map. In an instant, the house disappeared, and countless crystals appeared on the ground, trapping him tightly. Here, the Puss in Boots met familiar faces. His previous 8 lives with different personalities appeared before him. Some were incredibly strong but selfish. Others were unruly and arrogant. They all urged the Puss in Boots to take the wishing star for himself. With it, he could once again become the revered Puss in Boots. At this moment, the terrifying Grey Wolf appeared again. He shattered the crystals representing the previous 8 lives one by one, flaunting the 8 death marks on his side. It turned out that the Grey Wolf was dead. The Puss in Boots had once scorned death and squandered his lives, leading death to come for him early. He was so frightened that he turned and ran. He kept running after escaping the crystals, even ignoring his girlfriend's shouts, causing her to mistakenly think she was abandoned again. The Puss in Boots eventually found the wishing star, and he only needed to recite the spell to make his wish come true. At this moment, his girlfriend suddenly appeared. Her wish was to find someone to trust, but now nothing else mattered. At this time, the Bear crime family and the sorcerer also arrived, and everyone started fighting for the single wish. In the chaos, the girl grabbed the map. If she made a wish, she could get a real home. At this moment, the little bear was about to be swallowed by the barrier. In the moment of crisis, a cane pulled him back. When her loved one was in danger, the girl finally understood that the home she wanted had always been by her side. The sorcerer picked up the map, but the Puss in Boots kicked him into his own bag. The little dog jumped up, bit the map, and handed it to his boss. He knew the Puss in Boots needed 9 lives, but he had nothing he wanted. As long as he could roam the world with him, he was very satisfied. But death appeared again, carving out a battlefield and separating them. It threw the Puss in Boots the sword that symbolized honor and challenged him to a duel. Countless memories flashed through his mind. The happiest times in his 9 lives were those spent with his girlfriend and the little dog. So the Puss in Boots picked up his weapon and accepted the challenge. This time was different. He had no fear in his heart and fought Deathbat, who couldn't get close despite using all his strength. In the end, the Puss in Boots used his ultimate move to defeat the Grey Wolf. The slightly injured Death chose not to continue the fight, because he intended to reap the arrogant and fearful Puss in Boots. But by this time, the Puss in Boots had changed. In the end, he and his companions tore up the wishing star map together. 9 lives were too extravagant. Having too much often leads to losing oneself. A lifetime of not laying down loved ones and being true to friends is enough. Even with just 1 life,